Hi and welcome to the fourth lesson about the Paula method. And today is another special day because in the end, don't forget that the purpose of this method is to make our life in our body better, easier, better health, better feeling in the body, and so on. So many of the things that we learned needs to integrate into our daily life, into movement, into life. And that's one thing. The other thing is that really to take the essence of what we tried to achieve in the previous lessons is how to really listen to our own body, allow it to do the natural movement that heals it and also develops it. So we got some triggers to awaken our system, to awaken our body from different parts of the body. We related to triggers that are awakening the contraction of the front of the body with the front sphincter and all the front, the muscles that are making us to close in the front. And we also see that there are muscles who are closing in the back, but then they are opening in the front. And well, we didn't do much about side by side, but of course this is also another element that we have right side, left side, and whatever exercise we did, whatever trigger we did, we could do it side by side, like contraction of the eyes or opening the eyes could be just open one eye and then the other eye, or contract one eye and then the other eye, and the same with the hands. And that will awaken the system to relate between these two sides. So there is the front side, there is the back side, there is the right side, and there is the left side. So they all need to work in harmony, listen one to the other, and try to make an integration between what is weak and what is strong, and what is controlling the movement, and so on. And in the end, when we really awaken the body and allow it to work with all these triggers that we did, we now just want to listen to the body and let it do what it wants. So we did learn this trigger, putting the hands on the eyes, which is a very, very important one. Not only because it eliminates the outside triggers, not to see anything, but to feel from the inside and then to respond to that. But also because of the connection between this point in the hand, in each hand, and the eyes themselves. Because you see, usually, well, with our hands, we're doing things in the outer world. And with the eyes, we are perceiving information from the outer to the inside. Many times, things are going in reverse in our system. Like, we are holding ourselves from doing things we want to do, and sometimes we are trying too hard to look, to see, to be able to grasp things from the outside instead of allowing them to enter. This connection between the hands that are supposed to bring out things to do in the outside, into the eyes that are supposed to allow things to enter inside, this is already kind of energetically awakens this correct kind of streaming, correct way of how to operate. So let me start with this one, putting my hands on the eyes, so it can easily bring me into the body, into the system, into the allowing phase, into the listening to, oh, I feel now something in my middle back, oh, so My body is using right now some kind of pressure on that area to soften it, like things that we learned before. We learned releasing, and that's related to this as well. And slowly I'm going to let go my hands from the eyes. Yes, this correct way of streaming of action, that from the eyes it goes in, from the hands it goes out. Well, this is already functioning at a certain degree. And I can now allow total freedom to my body. So it can really, what does it want to do? And in this, there is not much point in you looking at what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is, for me, is what my body wants to do. And for so many years I've been doing this, and some things, it always come back to it. Just like this position, that my body would want to do this each time that I will allow it to have free movement. So the trigger that we are doing today is called free movement, like no trigger, just free movement, whatever the body wants to do. And in that, it really connects and become one with the same approach the trigger have to listening to the body and allowing it to do what it wants. It's the same. The difference is all those triggers that we had here. And with the trigger approach, he has all these questions to the mind. Oh, what would it feel like being softer, being lighter, stronger, or whatever I want? And we can use that, this thinking, these questions, we can use them in the Paula method as well. But right now, just freedom, just what my body wants to do, and just allow it. Maybe, and many times that's what happens, the body is remembering triggers that I've been using before. Right now you see me do a kind of exercise. I'm pressing the big toes one to the other. This is an exercise. This is a trigger that we didn't learn. I just mentioned it before when we related to the front sphincter. But it is a trigger by itself. Just this kind of compression. Two sides of the legs are meeting in the middle with compression. And it awakens all the inner side of the legs. And of course, it connects to the front sphincter. So I was saying that many times during the free movement, at certain points, the body will use some triggers that he knows. He already used them in the past, and he will want to come back to them because they serve him well. But I'm not obliged to any. I'm just obliged to feel what it wants to do, and I allow it to do that. Right now it relates to my left arm, which was injured quite heavily about 2.5 years ago, and it is coming to become almost perfect. I really love to see how it can do now all this movement. Like maybe half a year ago I couldn't lift it more than here, so good progression. Hey. One of the things is that we should not be thinking while doing this free movement. It's not a movement that comes from thinking. It is coming from allowing. Therefore, sometimes it works even better if we have something in the background. For me, right now, talking to you works great, because then I think less of what I'm doing and allowing more to happen. You could put some music. Of course, music influences the movement because it has rhythm. So it really dictates things. So if you have a wish from inside to use a specific music, that will be great. In fact, we might do that in the next session. We might, I will show you how to use music, how to dance, how to put the Paula method into dance. But just put music in the background, or even better, just a radio, a talk, or a person. You can talk to a person, not to everybody, but somebody that you can trust that it's okay for them that you are doing this movement and talking to them. So that your mind is occupied with something else totally. And, well, not to everybody that works. Some people cannot move while they're talking. It will be interesting for them to learn that, to try to allow themselves moving while talking. For some people, they find it like the coordination of it is like it's a breathing coordination problem, because the breathing last time regarding to the front sphincter or whichever sphincter that we are contracting, the breathing should not be dependent on any. It just should flow automatically, not regarding anything that we do. The breathing system is automatic. It knows how to breathe. It should know. So it should be free from, okay, what do you want to do? Do what you want. The breathing will follow as it needs, without you ordering it. And it's the same with the talking. Talking is breathing. Talking is breathing out, right? And then there is a breathing in at a certain point. So talking is kind of breathing and movements of the lips and the jaw and all that, making a sound. Making a sound is great. Maybe just start with make a sound while doing this free movement. Yeah. Of course, when you learn the Paula method fully, you have many more triggers. Some of them regards more sound and many other things. I cannot give everything in just a few lessons. Of course, it's always possible to have private sessions with this method and learn more. It's possible through Zoom and of course in person. So free movement, that's what I'm doing now. And part of it really reminds me some triggers, and part of it is totally different. Right now it is well, I know this exercise from somewhere else, maybe we've done it even. It is relating to my lower back, and that's fine. It just took me there. I have no plan. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just allow it. There is a feeling, a strong feeling in the lower back. So the listening to it is dictating, oh, should I continue or should I change? I don't think about it. I'm just telling you that this is kind of the listening is listening to it. It's not a talking. It's a permission. It's all the time a permission. It's all the time allowing the body to do what it wants. That's the whole thing. Including voice, including breathing. It will be great that you will go back to all the lessons before, the triggers, see and do. Give them time. Give your body time with the triggers so it will develop them and will use them, and the free movement in them will grow. And then you'll see that, okay, so free movement is there anyway. I don't need a trigger. I just need to allow my body to move. And that's what it is. So we will end this session here because, as I said, there is no much use of you looking at me doing my free movement. You should allow yourself doing your own free movement. So see you in the next session.